do you think that conservatives are impacted by the noetic effects of the fall, so that they're no better off?
Yes. I think we're all in the same boat there.
Yes, me too. I do.
Right.
Also think that.
So when the conservatives are accusing those who are deconstructing as, embracing sin in their lives, it's like, well, wait a second. We're still reading the news. We see all these conservative leaders that are stepping down because of adulterous affairs, etc. And so sin impacts all of us.
I study a little bit of that too in my work, and how that happens. And it's not even really related to religion. It's all related to accountability. So Ravi Zacharias, it wasn't Christianity that did it. It was the fact that he kept doing what he wanted. And he had a circle of enablers who would protect him from consequences of his behavior. If you had put me in that position, if I had his intellect and his desire that he had, and you gave me those same enablers, I would have been in the same position. I would have done horrible things, and I would have demanded that people back me up, and I would have felt entitled to it as a human being. So it's not about religion. If you're building a system or a ministry, there's got to be an avenue for you to get yanked down, so that somebody's like, hey man, you're screwing up, we're taking you down, and we're putting somebody else up, and you're going to have to deal with it. And if you don't have that, you're going to have corruption.
That's really fascinating that you say that, Richard, that if we placed you in that same predicament, you would find yourself doing the same sort of things.
Or something equally awful where I felt entitled.
I mean...
And the other people's suffering didn't matter to me as much as my entitlement. Absolutely.
That makes me think of Romans chapter 1 and chapter 2. What makes those two chapters fascinating, and again, this is where conservatives fail. They will so commonly bring up Romans 1 and total depravity, which of course I would agree with. I'm not reformed, but I would agree with in a sense of depravity of human nature. But they got to keep reading, because Paul tells the Christian church, you do the same things. Now, maybe to a lesser degree, as Christians seek to become sanctified, become more like Jesus. But he says, who are you to pass judgment? You do the same sort of things. And so even in the Christian church, we still do these things. We really need to humble ourselves and deal with the issues within the church. I'm very much annoyed at the culture warriors out there when there are so many issues within the church that we have to deal with. A lot of people think that America is still supposed to be Jerusalem. And I tell them, look, the sooner you realize we are living in Rome or Babylon,
yes,
the more effective the Christian witness can be, because we're going to change our strategy for how we're reaching people and even what we expect of people. I don't expect a pagan to, worship Jesus or to even read the Bible. You can't just say, well, read your Bible. If people think it's myths and fairy tales, they're going to read it as myths and fairy tales. They really need to change their perspective if they want to be constructive in reaching people and helping others think about these faith issues.